Good everyone. How's our day been? Today we'll continue on the challenge we've been discussing for the past few days, and actually we've talked about two characters in the Bible so far. We've talked about the Lord Jesus Christ. We've talked about David, and now the third character we'll be discussing today is Joseph. And we all know the story of Joseph. We know how he was a dreamer and how his brothers actually sold him to the land of slavery in Egypt. And one thing about Joseph is very important, and we ought to know, and we ought to actually like practicalize this in our life. It's very important that we know this. Actually, it's very important, and it's the fact that Joseph is someone that he loves God so much, and he put God first in everything he do. And first instance we could see is when Potiphar's wife told him to lay down with him, to sleep with him. He said, "This sin that I will do, I won't do it against man, but it's against God." So even though he was in the strange land, he was putting God first in everything he does. So the first question is, are you putting God in everything you do? Even in your plans, in your decisions, in your thoughts, in the way you do things, before you talk. It just reminds me of this question, that what would Jesus do? So just put Jesus Christ in your position. Just put Joseph in your position. Now, and if we look at these two characters, everything they always sought for was the will of God to be done. And we all know the will of God. The Bible tells us, and it keeps us telling us. So Joseph actually kept God's will first for his life. He knows that it's sin against God to lay down with another woman's wife. And yes, it might not be that kind of sin or temptation that will come to us. It could be cheating in exam, it could be cheating other people, it could be lying. So the first thing we should always say is that if I do this thing, I'm doing it against God, because God sees everything. One other thing I could point out from Joseph's life is the way he loves. Because when his brother came to meet him and they were scared that he will revenge, but he said, "What you people thought for evil, God planned it for good." It's just that Joseph knows the will of God for his life, and he knows that God is a loving God, and everything he did was in line of what God actually wanted for him. So there's a lot of things we could learn from Joseph and other people. So thanks again, once again, to the people that has been sharing their three characters that inspired them from the Bible. I'm still expecting more, because we get to see these people and we get to learn from them. So I pray that God will help us as we go on this series, as we go on this challenge. So let's look at Joseph's life. He is a blessing, and as we've done, we've looked at Jesus' life, we've looked at David's life, and we've looked at Joseph's life today. Then we'll be looking at the other people. So there's a lot of things we could learn from this, and I just hope we could just sit down on our own time to see from these people and learn from these people, and let God work upon us, that we too we can become that man, that woman that God wants us to be. So let's be challenged, let's be blessed by these people. Thank you very much.